Trump decides to fire back at or wants to terminate Jerome Powell because he isn't quick enough with this interest rate cuts. And to me, can Trump fire Jerome Powell? Most likely not. There's a lot of things that he can't do, but the art of the deal or suggesting it does something, right? Does something. Maybe that's to suggest what the president actually wants is an interest rate cuts, and it seems like he's doing everything in his power to make sure that we get an interest rate cuts by doing things to the market, right? Or by the side effects of these tariffs. Now, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I am Crypto Doe. I want to share everything I know with you guys so together we can go further than Wells Fargo. So let's read a quick article real quick. Also, get my crypto guide. It's in the description as well. Trump blasts Fed Chair Powell, saying his termination cannot come fast enough. That's kind of funny to me. Now, we all know that Jerome Powell, he is in the private sector. The Federal Reserve, to me, is what run this whole show. Let me repeat. The Federal Reserve, to me, is what literally runs this whole show. And the reason why I say that the Federal Reserve run this whole show is simply this. It's only two things that's actually um, holding society back. Now, Doge was a good concept, but it doesn't solve the root of the issue. The root of the issue is the Federal Reserve, which is private, so no one can really tell them what to do. And the second root of the issue is the actual fiat currency. That's the only thing that rob you every day while you're asleep. Think about it. Every day, yesterday's dollar isn't today's dollar. Every year, your wealth depreciate. I didn't say appreciate. It depreciates what um depending on what you're holding your funds in. If you're holding your funds in fiat currency, it's definitely depreciating. You got to do things like maybe get treasury bonds to have rates that's higher than the depreciation or the debasement rate, right? You got to have different metrics, health insurance, and stocks and crypto. You got to have different metrics to fight off the thing that's robbing everyone blindly, and that's the fiat currency, right? We all know if you study money that the fiat currency doesn't. If you study money, the fiat all fiat currencies last X amount of years. It's time for most of these fiat currencies to actually be abolished and or transformed into something digital. And to me, that's what's going on right now. We're walking into this digital realm that most of these fiats will be transfers to digital assets, and that's why they're pushing stablecoin so much. Like, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You got ZKO CCTV. Thumbs up to you as well. How you guys feeling today? Let me know what crypto you own and what do you think about Jerome Powell not cutting interest rate enough so the market can kaboom. Zach said, hey, how you doing, Zach? If you're new to this channel, I'm Crypto Doe. Subscribe to my channel. That's all I ask. Help me get to 10,000 subs. Help me get to 10,000 subs. Today, today's main topic, we're talking about Jerome Powell and how Trump want him to be terminated. And I think that's just for the headlines to get people to talk about it, because he himself know and his team know that you cannot terminate Jerome Powell. Though it's shedding light to the problem, and the problem can be the fact that the Federal Reserve isn't moving fast enough, right? Let's continue. Let's read the article. And this is coming from CNN, right? President Donald Trump on Thursday ratcheted up his criticism against Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, calling for his termination for not cutting interest rates quickly enough. His comments come one day after the central bank chief delivered a stark warning about the effect of the Trump sweeping tariffs on the economy. So maybe that was his get back to say, hey, a lot of people are saying what Trump is doing as far as the turf. Now, it has its pros and it has its cons, because I'm only going to keep it real with here, real with you guys here, right? It has its pros and it has its cons. Now, as far as United States making billions of dollars in tariffs every day, that's not true. That's a little bit exaggeratory, right? That's why politics is a whole different thing. Mary said, "Hey, Mary, how you doing? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Welcome on into the Crypto Doe channel. Welcome on in. Subscribe to the channel as well. Get my crypto guide. We're talking about Jerome Powell and Trump. Also, we're talking about how I believe that the crypto market is standing strong for some reason. It's standing strong. Now, let's get back to what I was saying about the pros and the cons about the tariffs. Now, it brings in every day about $250 million to the United States economy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, I believe that China has a lot of leverage over the United States, meaning that they have other partnership. They have the Asian market. They have their cousins, their friends that they could trade with. They don't have to trade everything in the U.S. dollar. So that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. The three friends say I'm back. The three friends. What's going on? I appreciate you coming on back in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We're talking about Jerome Powell. We're talking about Jerome Powell. Alarm Clock FN. Yo, what's up? What's going on, Alarm Clock FN? How's your evening going? It's flowing. I can't complain. I can't complain. I'm bringing you guys this news, let you know what's going on in the market and in the market sentiment. Trump want Jerome Powell out of there, but like I say, that's all for headlines. That's to get the world talking. I don't read the headlines. I don't read in between the lines. Well, I don't read the headlines. I read in between the lines. And what he wants to do is he want to get those interest rate cuts. To me, that's everything that he does is calculative, right? He want to get the interest rate cut, right? And he's trying to get that faster than normal. I believe that in May, because like I say, the feds have to, if you follow the channel, I've been talking about this for a while. The feds has to refinance in June. I think that they're going to, before they refinance in June, they're going to cut the interest rates in May. I also put on my channel the other day, if you look at my post, I believe that they will cut the interest rates in May. That's just what I personally believe. Jerome Powell stating, he's saying that he may not cut the interest rates. This is that the third. And I think that's what triggered Trump to say, you know what? Let's create a campaign to actually purchase him to want to cut the interest rates. To me, it's a smart businessman. Do I believe in everything that he do? No, because politics is a very slippery game. But as far as the economy, just let them quarrel for a second, because we all know that China and the United States are gonna come back around sitting at the table like they always do. This is a showdown. They always do. They need each other for business. Last time I checked, they're much better together than they are apart. China has a little bit of the upper hand as far as um what they make. But the United States has upper hand too, because we are the consumption's capital of the world. So a lot of people are not going to make as much money if they don't produce things for the United States market. And that's the leverage that they plan, right? That's the leverage that they plan. Alarm Clock FN said, I don't got school tomorrow. That's excellent. That's excellent. Make sure you study up on some crypto. Make sure you study up on some crypto. Study the market. Bluke, what's going on, Bluke? Blessing, bro. Always good to see you. It's always a pleasure to see you as well. You always tune in. You always smash the like. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone. Let me know where you guys from in here as well. Mary said, are you from the U.S.? Well, yep. I live in the United States of America, close to the capital. Close to the capital. So yes, Mary, where you from? Where you from? Or where do you currently live? What side of town are you on? Okay, so let's get back to the article. So Trump's first comments on Powell came clearly in the day. We all know Powell just had a he just had a meeting about what's going on with the economy, right? If you guys don't know who Jerome Powell is. Um, but the president continued ripping into the Fed chief later Thursday in an Oval Office meeting, piling on political pressure for Powell to lower interest rates. If interest rates is lowered, crypto go up. Asset classes, they boom, basically. And that's what Trump is waiting on. He's not doing this tariffs for nothing. Ahead of the expected rate decision Thursday by the European Central Bank, Trump lashed out at the Fed leader, saying that the U.S. Central Bank is lagging behind, which can be true. The ECB later announced it is cutting interest rates for the seventh time in the past year. Jerome Powell of the Fed, who is always too late and wrong, yesterday issued a report which was another and typical complete mess. All Jerome Powell to me talk about is uncertainty. That's all he talk about. Uncertainty, uncertainty, uncertainty. The American people, the world wants certainty. We're tired of uncertainties. But that's a whole nother conversation. Trump wrote Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. These headlines. These comments came after Powell on Wednesday said at the the event in Chicago, that Trump administration had brought a very fundamental policy change, including sweeping tariffs that are significantly larger than anticipated. He said such a change are unlike anything seen in modern history, putting the Fed in uncharted waters and on path to confront a challenge it hasn't seen in decades. Basically, he's forcing you guys' hands as well. Basically, what Trump is doing is forcing the Fed hands to say, you know what? Y'all need to hurry up and cut interest rates. You got other nations cutting their interest rates. Why aren't you guys cutting the interest rates? Play the game. Don't let the game play you. But Powell's word wasn't unlike those of the other Fed officials in recent weeks. Most have said Trump's tariffs are likely to push up inflation and unemployment. Powell has carried out the Fed's monetary policy by making decisions that depends on economic data and striving for the central banks. Dual mandates of maximum employment and stable prices. The ECB, which only focuses on price stability, also has a data-driven approach like the Fed. Let me just say very squarely, I have a lot of respect for my esteemed colleagues and friend, Jay Powell. We have steady, solid relationships among central banks. So that's the sentiment on what's going on with Trump stating that Jerome Powell need to get out of there just for him to cut those interest rates. He played a very vicious game. Now let's go into another article and then we're going to end the live. And this one is about, we're talking about the actual why to me, and this is coming from FX Street, right? Bitcoin held steadily as U.S. reveals China faces up to 245% tariffs. Bitcoin has been holding very steadily, like compared to the stock market. And normally they're coupled together, but this may be a decoupling. A lot of people are claiming that this may be a decoupling event, right? A lot of people are claiming that this may be a decoupling event. The three friends said, hey, what's up? What's going on? The three friends, the three amigos, what's going on? Bitcoin BTC witnessed little pressure on Wednesday despite the Chinese government selling off parts of its confiscated cryptocurrency holdings. The action follows a recent statement from the White House revealing that China could face up to 245% tariffs on exports to the United States due to its retaliatory actions over the weekend. Bitcoin holds 84,000 and is currently right now it's at 84, yeah, in its high 84,000 as U.S. Chinese tariff face-off continues. Bitcoin held the 84,000 level on Wednesday amid raising volatility across the financial market due to a heightened trade war tension between the U.S. and China. So Bitcoin to me is actually holding up steady, and that's what I want you guys to know. Bitcoin to me is holding up steady, and I want you guys to know that. On that note, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. That's the latest thing that's happening in the crypto world and that's happening in the economy as well. I have to bring you both news because the economy play a big part in what's going to happen in crypto. Like I say, May is coming around and we may have a rate cut in May. That's just how I look at it. And I have my reasons to believe that. On that note, put on your seatbelts. It is crypto, though. It is time to take off in 5, 4, 3,